Want to be up to date with the news on
finance,
fashion,
society,
science,
sports?
Look no further with the award-winning news presenter Tim Tullamore at NestingNews.
Good evening. This is NestingNews on Channel 1, and I'm your bat signal in the dark sky to call for the crypto news every week. Tim Tullamore. Today we continue with the market overview, the latest lawsuit news of the crypto industry, and more. So, let's get rolling. Bitcoin is currently sitting at 27,500. However, if you haven't noticed, it has rather unsuccessfully attempted to break to the upside, tackled 28.5 mark, which was the highest since mid-August, yet the bulls lost their enthusiasm soon after. Moreover, if you look at the exact levels, the Bitcoin rally was somewhat correctly predicted by our colleague Mr. Cowan, as the initial bull pump was swiftly rejected by the bull support band, or 50-day SMA to be precise. Funny times we live in. Both bulls and bears get their fair share of correctness. Or in other words, both sides get wrecked on a weekly basis. Anyway, this is just another friendly reminder not to get too cocky with your predictions, and if you're trading, then to be extra cautious. Finally, just like in a crappy relationship, the guy cannot commit to saying the important words. Gensler trembles with fear when prompted to call Bitcoin a commodity. Hence, we see a delay in Bitcoin ETF applications until 2024. While on the topic of ETFs, though, after seeing easier time to get an Ethereum ETF, many asset management firms have quickly changed their applications with the SEC from a Bitcoin ETF to Ethereum ETF, Valkyria and Investo Galaxy being the latest. Anyway, moving on to the topic of lawsuits, as they seem to be in the center of attention due to the lack of other substantial news in the industry, the curly Sam Bankless-Boiled is awaiting for his trial while the jurors are being picked. While the defendant was assured to not have a death penalty option due to the financial nature of his crime, he is still being probed for over 100 years in jail. Moreover, it became apparent that finding the correct jurors in this case is simpler said than done, since most of the people are either anti-crypto by default, or simply do not understand it. Clearly the mass adoption, as well as the regulatory framework, are still not present in the society. Speaking of the regulatory framework, a federal judge had denied SEC's motion to appeal in Ripple's lawsuit, so somewhat good news have made XRP rally about 5%. Sounds ridiculous how the SEC failed to create or even advise on the possible framework even after numerous requests from the industry leaders like Coinbase, yet the SEC has the balls to sue others. Almost like blaming the shopping mall for not putting larger toilet signs after you soiled your pants. It's a deep metaphor. Think about Gensler. Anyway, the Ripple case is unfortunately not all lost for the SEC, as the next trial date is set for April 2024, where other issues that need resolution will be battled out. This will be, of course, an opportunity for the SEC to turn the whole thing to their favor, but we doubt it would play out as a victory for the SEC anyway, and is likely to settle in some fines to be paid by Ripple Labs. And finally, a quick mention. Ripple scored a Singapore license as a major payments institution. Now, moving on to the cool stuff, namely Octo. Yes, we know it has been featured by us a couple of times previously, but now it seems the team is planning for a cool ambassador program that will empower and reward the most active users. Although it is just a rumor, it seems the launch is imminent and will feature a cool set of benefits from the very start. In fact, as some of the actual experts of the industry commented during the XFounders bootcamp, it became apparent that Octo has exactly what the market needs. So, stay tuned to their updates and announcements on X and Discord. Anyway, that will be all for tonight. It was NestingNews on Channel 1, hosted by Tim Tullamore. Tied to a barrel roll on Google, and have a good night.